Happy to be here with former Nazareth basketball coach Bill Nelson, now the head coach at Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore. Bill, you're here today for the locker room dedication. Jeff Van Gundy, with all his generosity, donated some money so we could refurbish the Nazareth locker rooms, named them after you and your assistant coaches when you were here. Tell me what that means to you to be back here and for this special event.
Well, first of all, Jeff really bleeds Nazareth blood. He, as I said at the ceremony, coming to Nazareth after being at Yale and Menlo and Brockport, he really didn't know what he was getting into, and he soon found out what Nazareth was all about. It was a warm place. They take care of you here, and it's continued like that for as long as the last 30 years. And I know Jeff feels that way because he talks about it all the time.
Tell us what it was like back in the day when you were here. You were only here for 3 years, but they were very successful seasons. Nazareth basketball really turned the corner at that time and really became a proud program at that time.
I was here 3 years. This is my 45th year at the college level, yet those 3 years stand out more than any other 3-year stint. It was a great situation I came into. Bill Carey was the athletic director. Paul Bunich worked in admissions and eventually became the vice president of student affairs. And so I kind of knew what Nazareth was all about, but you got to be here to feel it. And we inherited a great group of players, and I was telling Dino Amino, who was part of it, I said, I don't care how talented you are, if you're not willing to be coached, it doesn't matter. And these guys were willing to be coached. They all were. It was kind of a mishmash of where they came from. Some played for Joe Gelati, some played for John Beeline. But they came together, and you've got to give Jeff a tremendous amount of credit for doing that, because I think he was the missing link to keep them from their greatness. And then when Jeff came here, it was just an unbelievable time.
What was it about Jeff Van Gundy that made him such a great player?
His heart. He was talented and skilled, but I use the phrase, people used to call him all-out Jeff. And I remember when I watched him at Brockport High School one year in the sections in front of whatever, 10,000, 12,000 at the War Memorial, he single-handedly almost brought the Brockport High School team back to win I think it was a semifinal game. And I was coaching at RIT one year, the year he played at Brockport, and we were up about 12 points with about 3 minutes to go. And remember, then there was no shot clock and no 30 seconds clock, and Jeff made me do what most coaches hate to do, is put the starters back in the game. And stories like that go on and on and on. It's his leadership skills, his knowledge of the game, and his heart.
Tell us what it means to you to have the locker rooms renamed after you and your assistant coaches while you were here at Nazareth. Well,
it's an honor I can't express, because it's not just Jeff. It's the guys that played with Jeff, and then it was here a year after Jeff left. And Jeff's team was the most talented team I ever coached. And then my third year here, those guys that played probably had the best teamwork of any team I've ever coached. And as I said, because it's Jeff making this honor possible and being in this building for so many great memories, I can't express how happy I am about it and the memories that it rekindles. My children were both tiny. My wife really got into the scene here. My buddies from Brockport and guys I worked with at RIT, it was just a tremendous amount of time. And I know it comes from the bottom of Jeff's heart that he did this. He really, really loves Nazareth College.
And it was great to come back. You got to see a lot of old friends and play a little golf yesterday.
Played a little golf yesterday, and I played with guys that hit the ball a country mile. 3 Nazareth players that played for us, and a guy from Hamilton College. And for 18 holes, we laughed. I mean, they retold old stories, reminded me of some other stories, and they even had some new ones that they wouldn't tell me when I was coaching them, and I just love those guys.